HoveLand Radio, oh wait. HoveLand on the radio. HoveLand Radio, oh wait. Listen to our radio show.
Well, that was a thing.
Yeah.
That was definitely a real thing, right?
That was crazy, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, what do we have on the radio? So, I think we just have to explain a little bit what's going on here.
Yeah.
I quit HoveLand.
That wasn't pretty.
Yeah, it was a big mess. So, what happened was, Adam tried to steal Hat Attack from me. And, I mean, that's what Adam did here. He came on. This was just supposed to be my show. And Adam came on and he ruined it. Just like he did with my Hat Attack. So now we're going to rename this. This is the James Hovey Radio Hour.
I can dig that.
Yeah, it's 1 hour with me. We are no longer whatsoever in any shape or form affiliated with HoveLand or Rick Gold Industries.
I can freelance, so that makes sense. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. So Adam shoehorned himself into this and ruined it. And, that's just the way things are. Adam keeps ruining stuff. Adam came in, he stole this show and then sold it to Rick. I don't think that was fair. Like, how can he do that? I don't think this radio station is going to allow him to get away with that.
I don't think so, no.
No. I started doing Hat Attack on my own. And then he came and he started doing that. And Boot Attack. Like, that's the opposite of a hat.
As we discovered a few weeks ago, that people were pretty scared and I didn't enjoy shooting it.
Yeah. Well, let's just ignore them.
Yeah. Anyway.
Look, I'm working on an agreement with the radio station on making sure Adam and Rick Gold Industries are never allowed on here again. I mean, can you see what they're doing? Just this in general is going to get them kicked out of here.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of waiting for security to come. And when security gets here, they're going to drag Adam away, and it's going to be great. I mean, he has broken so many laws of the station etiquette here. Yeah. All the rules, the drinking in the booth, the alcohol on the radio, the drugging me.
Yeah, that was in last, was it, when you were sick, it was pretty.
Yeah, and then he poisoned me too. I mean,
that was difficult to mix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's this? Adam came with another guy. Do you have any clue who that guy is?
Some sort of thug that Adam hired. Some Wolfman, Teen Wolf, Marty McFly. I don't know.
I don't know.
One of those weirdo hobos Adam found out on the street somewhere.
But when you quit, like, he just came out of nowhere with a stick and, like, started, like, going after you and yelled something about a hernia and then grabbed the hat and left.
Yeah, the typical sort of caliber of people Adam usually find.
Yeah.
Somebody who tells him that they can do something and then they can't. Yeah. Look, Adam is going to be fired. He's going to be kicked out of this radio station. And I mean, I locked the door. He can't get in.
Yeah.
No matter what he tries.
So, well, we'll just have to do the show ourselves then, with knocking on the...
Yeah, with him knocking and banging on stuff.
On the window behind you.
Yeah. I say maybe we should play the new radio theme.
The new radio theme?
Yeah, and why don't we put up, for when we air this online, why don't we put up the new logo, like the new James Hovey Radio Hour splash screen.
Yeah.
Let's get it ready.
Where is the new theme song?
You should have this ready, Joe. I mean,
I didn't expect to be chased by him down the hall.
Well, I mean, he did try to Nancy Kerrigan me in the leg.
Yeah,
Fortunately, I just jumped over the stick. It didn't work at all.
Yeah, there's no theme song on the.
It's right here in the main document. Joe.
There we go. News theme song. HoveLand Radio. Let's try this.
Yeah, maybe we should play the news theme song. Maybe that's what I was attempting to say. And we'll have the James Hovey News Hour splash screen up.
Like...
The news, yes. We're going to have the splash screen come up.
Alright. News theme.
Yeah, we're doing the news.
Intrigue, world of people, people's stories, excitement, important, weather, education, local fires. With your host, me, James Hovey.
Guys, I'm doing the news,
guys.
No, I'm doing the news.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm doing the news.
And look what happened.
Look, you guys aren't allowed in here.
And yet, here we are.
Yeah, just wait. Find out what happens when security gets here.
Thank you, Tony.
And they're going to deal with you and all that banging and extra stuff and
you say
I
that.
don't know, whatever Marty McFly's doing here.
You say that, Tony. Your job is to make sure if security comes, you beat them up. You've earned your paycheck, and if you do that, you'll get a bonus.
He's not paying you.
Someday,
there's no money involved.
There is going to be money. You know what? You know what you did to me there when we were trying to get through the door? Look at this.
Aw, Muffin.
Look, he cut me.
Oh no.
Well, it hurts pretty bad.
Poor baby.
Yeah, you're the baby. You were who was just? Oh, I'm the baby. Who just spent the last? How many minutes was that? Whining on the radio.
I was informing people on the changes that are happening to the James Hovey Radio Hour.
Yeah, that's not what it's ever going to be called.
Well, that's what it is.
That. What do you mean?
Well, this station isn't owned by Rick Gold.
No.
And HoveLand is actually no longer on the radio.
Yeah, well, you know what's going to happen right now is I'm just going to send Rick Gold an email, and you know what he's going to do? He's going to email the station and buy them, because that's a thing.
All right, well, work on that all you want, and until...
Can a private company really buy it?
No, they can't buy something that's owned by the university, no.
Yeah, well, this radio station is not actually owned by the university, probably. Did you ever think of that?
Well...
Maybe it's just one of the students here that owns it, and it's going to get bought by Rick, and then your radio show becomes my radio show.
So the student's been here
and
for
so forth.
Many decades?
Yeah, he's been here for... He must be like Van Wilder.
Yeah.
Just a lifelong student of everything, I guess.
I'll give Adam benefit of the doubt and assume it just they transfer ownership each year.
You know what I don't like's going on here? I've noticed with what you think is your new show is that Joe is doing a lot of the talking that I should be doing.
Well, Joe is a better co-host than you.
Yeah, well, Joe, technically, in HoveLand, I'm in charge of you, via Rick Gold. So give me that microphone. I want two this week. I want two this week, and I want one pan to the right and one pan to the left.
He's not here working for HoveLand. He's here working for the James
Nowhere
Hovey
in my contract
Radio Hour.
did Rick say I couldn't freelance for somebody else.
Yeah, well, that's it. Your contract's about to change via an email I'm sending to Rick Gold. So you guys...
Look,
as long as Rick Gold's on vacation, he's on my side, because it's thanks to me Joe, he got to have this vacation for one thing.
I don't think Rick is on vacation. I think you did something to Rick and stole his
phone.
phone.
Hold on. I'll just tell him to send you another email that's going to remind you that he's on vacation.
Like, for instance, your phone actually says property of Rick Gold on the back.
This isn't Rick Gold's phone. Yeah. Okay, but you remember how crappy a phone I had? He bought me a new one. And he wanted it to say, it's still my phone, but you can use it. So that's why he put that sticker on there.
So they've discovered a new Earth-like planet. They're calling it Earth 2.0.
Are you moving there?
No.
Why not?
We would die before we got there.
It's 1,400 light years away. That's kind of far.
Well, yeah, but you could freeze yourself and make the trip that way. I think
they
if you're not going...
haven't developed that technology yet.
If you're not going, I'm going. It's
all right, good. I will buy your ticket.
You'll make it less than 0.02% of the way there before you die.
No, because I'll be froze.
All this talk about space is messing up with Tony Tompkins' demeanor.
Well, this section of the news on the James Hovey Radio Hour is about Kepler 452b.
It's going to mess with his demeanor, and he's going
to
sock you
and
one.
That's just what that's going to be.
He's going to sock you one, okay? You see what he did to that door? That's going to be your face.
Yeah, but I saw what happened to you guys outside the bar when you were doing your boot attack.
Yeah.
I saw what happened at the end when that guy jumped us. and then another guy came in.
That was a successful. That was a successful boot attack, and our door breaking down. It was pretty well successful.
I had a successful night with the ladies at the bar.
We had that lock on the door pretty much naturally broken before you had to open it. So it was going to break in a few more kicks.
So James Hovey Film Industries is doing already better than HoveLand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In what respect? What films has you put out? HoveLand's put out
the
hundreds.
new Hat Attack will be out.
What new Hat Attack?
We shot our own.
You shot your own Hat Attack?
Yeah.
Well, you know what's going on
I'm
HoveLand?
going to go out and do more.
You know what's going up on HoveLand is...
Or maybe I'll do Shoe Attack.
One of the good things with a successful show is it doesn't matter who the parent company is. If it's the content's there, people are going to watch it. People are going to participate.
Yeah, like
but that's
Top
what
Gear.
yes,
people are going to follow those three guys all the way to House of Cars.
Yeah, but nobody's going to follow you onto doing, your terrible show. Why would you go... You can't keep doing Hat Attack.
Well, fine then. I'll do Shoe Attack.
Yeah, but it's copyright infringement. All of it's copyright infringement.
No, it's not.
You quit HoveLand and all that goes with it, and that includes all the attacks that can come from clothing.
Then
so you're
I'll
going to have
do
to come up with a different
James's Street Question period.
That's, you know what? It depends on who I get for a lawyer as to whether or not that's going to fly.
And it's going to appear like a question mark, because what is a question mark but a question period? It's a period with a question.
Yeah, see,
so it's not going to interrobang?
Yeah.
This is the ideas he comes up with. You give him a chance, and this is the crap James comes up with. Hire him for your show if you want to. He's out of HoveLand. He quit, and the door is shut on that one.
But I'm hiring Joe for mine.
You're hiring Joe for your what?
Well, he's allowed to work on both.
I feel like we got sidetracked.
He can do whatever he wants.
What was your news? I want to get to my news.
It's about Earth 2.0.
Yeah, there was an Earth 2.0.
Yeah.
Is there anybody living on it now?
Well, we don't know yet. It's kind of far away.
In theory,
so we can see the
Earth. There could be life.
So we can see that it's there, but we can't tell if it's got people on it.
Yeah, well, it's 1,400 light years away.
But if it's got people, then they're probably not building buildings and
I can't tell if there's bacteria
on
your face or not, so it's the same idea. We can't tell if there's there's life on this planet.
But they can't be smart
away.
enough to build buildings, or we'd see the buildings at least.
No, we can just barely make it that the planet's there.
Hey, yo, what about the streetlights?
Yeah, you'd see them at night. It would light up. He's got a really good point. Does this planet light up at night? Because if it doesn't light up at night, then it's it's not a realistic place.
They can only tell that the planet is there by a blip in its sun as the planet passes in front of its sun. It takes very sophisticated telescopes and mathematical algorithms to determine whether or not a planet is there and how far away it is from its sun.
Yeah, well, all right,
and
fine.
this planet exists in the Goldilocks zone.
Yeah. I'm going to go buy one of those. I'm going to go buy one of those. I'm going to go buy one of those telescopes, okay, from a flea market or something. And I'm going to get somebody. I'm going to get somebody to
millions of dollars.
I'm going to get somebody to point it at that place, and then I'm going to get a catapult and I'm going to point it at that place, and I'm going to shoot you guys off to Earth 2.0.
Why don't you go there
how
first?
Long you survive.
Hey,
you
Adam,
go there. You tell me what it's like first.
Based on your theory, let me talk for a second. Based on your theory, if they did have electricity and lights. And it's 4,100 light years away?
1,400.
1,400.
So relatively close.
So 1,400 years ago, were there lights on Earth?
Well, the thing is,
I don't think he even knows that.
This planet is 1.5
He's bringing up, you know what?
billion years older than Earth.
Well, yo, they would have fire back then.
They would have fire.
They could have more advanced.
Is parts of this planet currently on fire?
That's
another thing we could see from space.
We don't know.
What we see today happened 1,400 years ago.
Yeah.
Remember that Mars thing we told you about where it takes 7 minutes for stuff to get to Mars?
Yeah, okay.
And the light from the sun takes 8 minutes?
Planet, we're only seeing it 1,400 years ago.
Yeah, well...
So maybe 1,400 years
from
ago, they turned off all the lights. Maybe that was Earth month.
From there, they're seeing us 1,400 years
or
ago. So we have the same advantage.
And there was nothing...
Yeah, exactly.
What if it was 1,400 years in the future?
Then we'd be seeing them now.
Look,
so why don't we just...
Look, we can go on and on about how time is a flat circle.
Or we can move on to my news.
If you see time from outside, you can see everything all at once.
Or we can move on to my news.
We exist in this current structure of physics where we can't see into the future.
That's why clocks are round.
Nobody understands...
We can see into the past. We can't see into the future.
Nobody understands what you're talking about, okay? Now... My news is next. We're dealing with my news now, so
James,
suck it.
You can't have news. You're not on the James Hovey Radio Hour.
You can call in Bill Nye next week.
Let's get Bill Nye here.
Well, we can at least call him. I don't know if he'd show up, but we call him in or Skype him.
He might come for the
He
James
definitely
Hovey
wouldn't
News
show up.
Radio
Yeah,
Hour.
that's why he wouldn't, because he would see that, James is doing his own radio show.
Yeah,
why
he
would
might
anyone?
come for the James Happy Fun Time Radio
He
Hour.
might, but he probably
This has been
won't.
the most convoluted news I've ever heard in my life. Do you have anything else to say about
He
the
might
planet?
show up, but he probably
I was
won't.
trying to talk about the planet and how far away it is from our own planet.
I'm going to mute
but
Adam's
Adam
mic
just-
during
well,
this.
You're doing a terrible job.
That's because you keep interrupting me.
and you expect Bill Nye to show
Okay,
up. It's
do
not
yours.
realistic.
Do yours.
Thank you. The manatee.
Oh,
The
God.
management's not real.
As everyone is aware, this perfectly legitimate news source that I believe in and trust
Yeah,
and
no,
has
no, it's not.
integrity. All right, they've reported on this.
You can't even
okay.
give a straight face when you say it.
Okay, so what is this news?
The news is
No, I don't want to hear about it.
Stefan Krab or
No,
Stephen
who's that?
Krab.
I don't know. I don't know who that is. I don't care. I don't know who he is.
He is more of a
Yo,
credentials than you.
Well, no, I don't know who he is, so he can't have more credentials.
Tony, put him in the headlock. I've had enough. Put him in the headlock. Get him in that. Careful of the microphone, but the headlock's got to happen. Oh, you've heard him.
Yeah, I kicked him right in the...
Turning up.
Careful of the microphone, just, All right, I'm going to do the news. There's a New Brunswick man who's selling gas, all right? He's trucked it out from Alberta. It's a lot cheaper than the gas you get here.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
It's
Well, he did. He's
Not
doing it.
financially
If you
infeasible.
It's not
Okay.
Adam.
He drives a red. He drives a red transport truck with a white back, and if you see him in a parking lot of some kind, he will sell you gas. 83
no,
cents.
he won't.
83
Adam,
cents
bigger
a
than
liter.
If you see somebody selling...
83 cents a liter.
If you see somebody selling gas out of the back...
Calm down. And you can
If you see
come back
somebody
with it.
selling gas out the back of a truck, it's stolen. It's stolen gas.
Tony,
Get out of my booth.
your job was to put him in a headlock, and now look what.
Look.
So now you've been out-bounced by Joe,
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
Look, get out of my booth.
man.
I got most of my news out, and I want to say to the guy who's selling the gas out of his truck, if any of this
doesn't
gas
exist.
gets
After the show.
if any of your gas gets sold as a result of my advertising that I've given you for free, please send me some money.
If
Okay?
you're sending any money to this program, it is the James Hovey Radio Hour.
But if
God.
you should also keep in mind that James is the guy who interrupted your advertising that I tried to give you for free. And if anything, you should beat him up and try to take his money to send to us.
Free advertising on the radio is something that the radio station doesn't like.
Yeah, there's
They lose money that way, Adam.
Yeah.
It's too late now.
Well,
They
you're
should
not
have thought of
allowed-
that before I read
You're
it.
not allowed on the radio.
No, I am still allowed. You said I probably will be fired next week, but this week, not yet. So I've got a lot of tricks and cards up my sleeve that is going to make next week
anyone-
a fine time for me. And you guys, not that great.
Has anyone received a legitimate contact from Rick in the
No,
last
I
48
haven't
hours?
seen...
I'll
Rick
just have to
Gold.
email him again because you guys obviously aren't smart enough to remember when it happened. Update them. Okay. Rick Gold's
Yeah.
going to send you guys an email pretty soon. He's going to tell you where he's at now. I've got my special guest here, Tony DeWolf.
I already got it.
Yeah,
you have a
me
special-
too. Notice how that's funny how as soon as Adam says, I'm sending Rick a message to send to you...
I think he means he's sending us a message as Rick.
But this is what you guys
I
were
think
talking
that
about
could be
earlier.
what's
It's
happening.
that light year thing. See, he's pretty far away from us, right? So when he's getting the message, it's actually 10 minutes ago.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. It would have to take...
you can't have it both ways.
Well,
you can't
Adam,
have it both
by,
ways.
By
Either-
your
either-
logic, it would take 20 minutes for us to get a message.
Sometimes it does, all right?
But
Explain that.
But we're getting it pretty much before Rick would be able to read it.
So it's okay. So it's a network error, is what you're saying. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because you're
I
not...
brought a special guest
So
on, and I'm going to interview
not-
him.
Let's humor him for a second.
Thank you.
In theory, he sends the email.
That's not the humoring
Rick
I
is
want to do.
instantly on
I
his
have
phone.
a special guest, okay?
Yeah,
Special guest?
but
No.
but the James Hovey Radio Hour does not have a special guest this week.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
You're right, it doesn't, because it doesn't exist as a thing.
No, that's what this is. And next week, I'm going to have my new
I
radio
heard the theme
theme.
song, and the theme song was HoveLand on the radio.
That was
That's
just a
both
place
of us.
filler.
That's both of us.
That was a place filler
You
till
have to
next
admit,
week.
you got
That
10
is
minutes at the start of the
automatically
show.
played by
You
the
got 10
radio
minutes at the
station when we
of the
start.
show. You got 10 minutes at the
No,
start of the show.
but you don't get any minutes on
No,
my show.
I get these minutes.
No,
Tony
yeah,
DeWolf,
you're
everyone.
taking these minutes from me.
Hey, yo.
Joe, give him the microphone. Give him the microphone.
No,
We
Joe,
gotta
don't
do
give him
this
the
up.
microphone.
No, come on, it's not going to make any sense if you don't.
Don't give him the microphone.
Give me the mic. Yo,
Don't.
Okay, Tony, you're going to take James is going to take this mic. This is the third person mic.
No, Adam, you can't say what's happening on my radio show.
Yeah, well, James, think about it. How's he going to
use-
talk into this mic? Be realistic.
You use that microphone. Give me
I don't
this
care. This is the
microphone.
best-
I don't want to use that crappy microphone
This
that
is
you
the-
keep trying to give me.
This is
Hey,
the
yo,
best
Tony
one. We all
Tompkins.
know it.
Yo,
You want to bring in a chair or something? You can have Joe's
No.
chair.
Hey, Tony,
I suggest he gets out of the booth.
have a seat.
Tony doesn't have to get out of the booth. I wrote him some thought-provoking questions.
Tony
Okay.
the Wolf just likes to stand.
That's fine.
Can you stand?
You know,
Yeah,
the good
he
thing
can
about him
stand out in the
standing
hall
is
away
he
from
can
my
still do
radio
his
show.
job of guarding me from the dicks who are trying to get in here.
He's not doing a good job, is he?
Neither is security because
Do me
they,
a favor.
Yo,
don't-
where's your security?
I don't need security.
Apparently you do.
I didn't need security when I found you guys uptown last night, did I?
Do me a favor.
Well, it's
just
a
Don't bring the
one-off.
laptop.
all right, guys. I'm going to interview Tony, and you're just going to have to deal with it. Tony is a for-hire crime stopper or crime assister, depending on what you need. He either helps you stop the crime, or he helps you start it, or finish it, or whichever.
And
Yeah,
yo,
he's not
and-
very good at that stuff.
And yo, today, it's all about a crime assistant.
He's assisting with crimes now.
What crime did you assist?
I broke in here, didn't I?
See?
Are you admitting?
Well, no.
You're admitting to a crime
Hey, yo, Tony
On-
the Wolf don't care.
on not only live radio and being broadcast on the internet, which has your face and you admitting to committing a crime.
But
Yo.
see, I don't think it was really a crime this time. I think it was
Joe,
him
can you pass
stopping-
me that paperwork right over there with that clipboard
You guys were
and
the
maybe
ones.
a pen?
James,
Yo, Tony the
please.
Wolf just don't care.
Thank you,
He don't
Joe. Can I have that pen back again, Joe?
James and Joe did the crime.
Yeah,
and now he helped me
So,
assist stop
so,
it.
so you
Yes,
committed a
I
crime,
skipped.
No, you did.
and,
yo.
and you say
yo,
that you were doing
no,
a crime.
I
Please
assisted.
sign here.
Yo, I don't know how to write.
See?
Just make your mark. Whatever you use for contract.
He doesn't
work.
want to do it. He doesn't want to do it.
Oh,
You can't
so now
make
you
him.
don't do contract work?
What kind of services do you offer? That's my first official question in the Tony DeWolf interview.
Yeah. What sort of services do you offer?
Anything you need, I got.
Mind you, that if
Anything
you don't,
you want, I
if you
do.
don't sign here, you actually do have to leave the booth. That is radio station policy.
No, it's not. I've never signed a thing the whole time I've been here. Don't believe him. He's full of
He
it.
did, and he
I'm
also
gonna listen
signed
to
my
my
name
boss,
to it.
Mr. Adam Landry.
Well, then we can't continue conducting this interview, Adam. I'm sorry. I am going to block this interview at every pace until I get this paperwork signed.
Okay, I'll sign it.
No, Mr. Teen Wolf has to sign it.
Yo.
Here,
I may be Canadian, but I ain't no Michael J. Fox, yo.
I'll just say.
Okay, I wrote all these questions.
I'll just write Teen
Can't
Wolf
I just
here,
ask my
and you
questions,
just
please?
put your line on it.
Why can't I please just ask the questions that I spent
That's
all
good enough.
afternoon writing? Thank you.
Well, it has his fingerprints where the sign mark is,
That's
which
fine.
we assume is good enough now.
That's fine.
Here, Joe, have
Hey, yo,
that.
they don't even have my
that
fingerprints in the system,
paperwork.
yo.
That is fine. Nobody's going to believe that anyway because I'm going to
Well-
clear this all up right here on air officially. So, what's the funnest crime you've ever assisted in, Tony?
By the way, thank you for signing the release papers to allow us to use any of this.
I have no recollection of that. You forced my signature.
That's true. He did. You forced it. That was under duress.
You forced me.
Yep.
Well,
and we
then-
have that as evidence.
Well, then, I did tell you that verbally, anything you say from this point on, if you choose to remain on our show, is legal to be used by us and legal in a court of law.
James, that doesn't make any sense what you're saying. Anyways, can you
Well,
just
I'm
let him
just
answer
saying.
these questions? This is not a... okay.
It's
you
just
know
that's a
what?
legal
Yo,
disclaimer.
yo, I
You
got-
know what
I
I'd
got-
like
I-
to say for
yo,
a disclaimer?
yo,
The
yo,
first
yo.
episode of what James thinks is his own radio show, this is terrible.
Yeah,
Nobody-
because you showed up again.
That's
My
just what
show
Adam
was
does.
going just fine. Joe, wasn't the show going just fine till he showed up?
It would have been just
Yeah.
fine if it were me from the start, too.
Yeah.
You're not thinking of that. How come you
Yeah,
don't
no,
think
I
about
am
that?
thinking of that.
Well,
Because you showing up ruins the show.
can we at least let Tony answer some of these questions? He
Okay,
drove
yeah,
all the way
yeah,
down here.
Do your questions. I'm just
Thank
going to
you.
go over here, and you can have the show for yourself.
Okay. What, was the funnest
Joe,
crime
just
you've ever assisted in?
whatever with that
What was the funnest crime you've ever assisted in, Tony?
I think it was just this one. Bring it into here. Bring it into the station, yo.
It was a good time.
It was a good time. And then we were crashing James over here.
The best thing about that is, technically, if anyone was, criminally offensive for it, it was James. He was the one offending everyone criminally, and we just helped, stop him. So in this case,
We tried to get him out of your radio show.
it was his crime, and we were assisting in stopping it.
Exactly.
What is your most useful gadget and or ability?
Yo, I just use my hands, man.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of both you have on that one.
Yeah.
See, if he interrupts you with his talking, you got to remember the audience can't hear him at all.
Yo, do you think I should just pull him out in the parking lot
Joe,
and beat
turn
him?
him down. He's okay. Let's just get on with the next question. How much do you make a year?
Sergeant, have you been listening to the show tonight?
I owes me
great,
freelance,
isn't it?
man. I freelance. So
great.
when I get my paycheck, it's usually just about, $5.
And what was that $5 for again?
Helping stop crimes. Like
I'm a
the
crime
one you
fighter
committed,
today.
James.
I never
Jeez.
committed any crime.
I'm
Well,
a
let's
crime
stop
fighter.
calling the cops about
Yo,
it.
crime fighter.
How can people get in touch with
Yeah,
you
just
if they
keep
need
listening.
you to help
Yeah.
them stop or start crimes?
Just go to www.startandstopcrime.com.
Bam. So you know what that was? A successful interview, despite how much James tried to screw it up.
Yeah, you messed my brain, man. You messed my brain.
Now, can we do the Rick Gold's catalog, or is that going to be just as difficult?
Please move on to something different.
No, we don't do the Rick Gold catalog.
Yes, we
on
do.
this
We do
show.
the Rick
No,
Gold.
we do not do the Rick
Yes,
Gold
we do.
catalog.
You know what?
Joe, see, here's the problem, Joe. You got to admit, how much is James paying you?
Pay more than you guys do.
Than Rick Gold does.
Yeah, he doesn't pay me the damn fucking
Yeah. When was the last time
he's
you
going
got paid
to.
by Rick Gold, actually?
He's going to pay
Because
you.
Rick pays you in person when he sees you, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And it's
So-
usually a per diem, once a day he sees you to pay you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, come on.
So,
Yeah. So how many days has it been since you've seen him? So you haven't got
That's
paid.
a good point.
You haven't got paid in, 2 weeks? And when was the last time I paid you?
Yeah, this morning.
yeah, but James only has about $8. So whatever you got from him, you got to take that out of his $8. Tomorrow he's not going to have any more. Rick, he gets money coming in all the time from his different business ventures.
Yo, and you got to remember that Rick
he is
pays
100
Adam and
there.
Adam pays me.
See?
So
That's
when was
the
the last
other
time
thing.
Adam paid you?
We have
This
to
morning.
do the
This
Rick
morning.
Gold's
What did
catalog.
he pay you with?
We have to do the Rick
Was it
Gold.
Rick Gold coupons? Because
Yes.
he's tried that with me before.
Yeah, but the thing with the Rick Gold
Yo,
coupons,
but they're good for it.
You can,
He's good
you can
for it.
spend them on the catalog stuff.
Sandwich.
Yeah. Did he try to give you a steak sandwich? Don't eat it.
There was no steak sandwich.
Here, I'll pay you a dime, which is more than what Adam has.
We can do the Rick Gold's catalog, please.
No,
What do you mean?
this is the James Hovey Radio Hour, and we don't do the Rick Gold catalog.
Okay, well, the radio show's pretty much up, so whatever you've got to fill in the time in between, be my guest.
All right. I have something here.
Extra spiced, extra waxed, real fruit.
I'm
If
going to
you
go
want
back
it,
to my news article.
go to my Facebook and get in touch with me. And it's going to be, it's a really good product, okay? It's like regular real
Kepler
fruit.
452B.
But we've added a bunch of wax
revealed
over the
as
top of it, and
almost
we've
similar
spiced that wax so you can eat
to our
the
own
wax
planet.
when you
James,
get to the fruit.
Adam's trying to talk.
I don't care.
You should.
He's not on this radio show. The planet is 60% larger in diameter than Earth, and is 1,400 light years away in the constellation Cygnus. Lots of people do. The people who listen to the James Hovey Radio Hour do.
No one's listening to the James Hovey Radio.
Yes, they are, because that is this program.
They've all turned it off. It's true. They've all
No,
turned it
no.
off. You blew it as your first chance. You just got to admit that so we can move on to Rick Gold, the
Well-
guy who actually pays. After today, your name's not
No.
going to be worth nothing. in this
Rick
town.
hasn't paid anybody in weeks.
But he's going to start again.
That's why Joe's
Rick
doesn't
Gold
work.
is
He
like
went
titanium.
on vacation, okay?
Joe
What
pays-
was he gonna do?
look,
He told you he was going on
Rick
vacation,
pays
then he
people
went
in
on
cash.
vacation.
When's he back?
In a few more weeks.
In a
But it
few
doesn't
more
matter
weeks.
to you,
Joe,
'cause you
Joe,
quit.
can you pay your rent tomorrow in a few more weeks?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I called your landlord before we got here, and he said it doesn't matter how long it
Why are
takes.
you calling my landlord?
Because I
He
knew this was
didn't
going to
call
come
your
up.
landlord.
I knew this was going to come up. Okay.
He
Next
is just
item.
deflecting the
Next
way he
item.
always does.
Chewable uranium pellets.
Name
These are
Kepler
great because they're a thing
452.
that
The
people
planet
don't
is
really
the
think
smallest
about.
Yo,
world
let
discovered
him talk.
orbiting a habitable zone star.
You can eat them for
talk.
rays,
Yeah.
and the green
What
comes
makes
out of
the
your
world
mouth.
remarkable
Okay.
No.
is that the
And it-
orbits
it's
a
like
star
glowing-
about the
it's like
same
glow
distance
sticks for
that
your
Earth
mouth.
orbits the sun.
And you can also plug yourself in to a power outlet, okay? And you can power up the rest of the building. So that's a good time. Then there's the Rick Gold gluten glob. A lot of people
Locked in
need
it. Now, okay,
more
now-
gluten than other people.
This Earth-like world has a substantial opportunity to host life.
Like
NASA
James.
says
James eats just gluten. That's the
that
problem
adding
with him.
that if planets transferred
This
there,
way, he
they
wouldn't
would
have
likely
to
to
buy all the
survive.
different foods. He could just eat the gluten
However,
glob.
being 1.5 billion years older than our own planet, the newly discovered cousin provides a glimpse into the future of Earth.
Pre-chewed gum.
You guys just have your own little lovers quarrel. I'm gonna see you guys next week.
Well, it's more like I don't like him quarrel is what it should be called.
Well, you shouldn't be on my show. Stop coming on my show.
Okay, fine.